Good morning, first graders, and happy Friday. Today we're just going to jump right into our lesson. We have been learning the past few days about our Arctic animals and their external structures. So, Trayton, tell me, what is an Arctic animal?
A wolf.
Okay, it could be a wolf. Arctic animals are animals that live where it's really cold in the Arctic, right? So we read this book, Amazing Arctic Animals, yesterday, and we read all about these amazing animals and how they survive in their habitat in the cold, right? So they use some of their external structures to survive in their natural habitat. I'm just going to open up to one of these pages, and I know Trayton was paying really close attention yesterday when we were doing this, and I'm going to, here it is, open up to the polar bear. Now, Trayton, can you tell me what is one external structure of the polar bear?
Its eyes.
Okay, the eyes. What does that polar bear use his eyes for in his natural habitat?
To see.
To see, what do you think he's looking for?
Food.
Maybe he's looking for food. Yeah, you're right. Let's turn to another page. Let's see. Ooh, here is a whale, an Arctic whale that lives in really cold water. What is an external structure of this Arctic whale?
Its nose.
Its nose, okay. What does he use for, what does he use his nose for when he's under the water? What do you think? Maybe to breathe? Maybe, you think? Okay, so we read this book yesterday and it talked all about these Arctic animals. Now today we're going to read another nonfiction book about polar animals, and polar means is just another word for like the North Pole or the South Pole, meaning that it's cold. So these animals also live where it's cold. Let's see. Our essential question or our target here is, what are external structures that help animals survive in their natural habitat? Now those are some pretty big words. Our keywords here that I want you to focus on as we're reading this book are survive, habitat, and adaptation. Trayton, can you tell me what the word survive means?
You survive your life.
Yeah, you survive your life like you're living, right? That's how they live. What about habitat? What does habitat mean?
It's your home.
It is your home. And can you remember, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, what adaptation means? Or what does it mean if you need to adapt to your climate or to your habitat? Do you remember? No? So adaptation means that maybe animals are changing or they're doing different things to adapt to different weather, right? So like we adapt in Wisconsin, we adapt to the winter by wearing sweaters. Have a seat right here. Crisscross applesauce on your bottom. We adapt to the winter by wearing sweaters or wearing winter coats and hats and mittens because it's cold out and we want our bodies to stay warm,
Please do it.
right? So today we're going to read about polar animals, and then we have a really cool activity that we're going to do afterwards if we have enough time. So polar animals. Could you live in the snow, on the ice sharp and bright? Would you shiver? Would you shake? Do you love the color white? Bundle up and come with us, and then you'll understand more about the animals who love this frozen land. Ooh, sounds cold. Frozen. Polar animals. This is our title here. The North Pole and South Pole are the coldest places on Earth. See, the North Pole is at the top, the north of the world, and the South Pole is at the bottom, or at the south part of the Earth. Animals that live in snow and ice need to keep warm. Some have thick fur, and some have fluffy feathers. Some are big and fat. Lots of polar animals are white, so they can hide in the snow. So let's think for a second. What is this penguin? It says that they are white. That penguin is mostly white, right? How is he using that color white to survive in the cold? Trayton, what do you think? Why is that penguin mostly white?
So he blend in the snow.
So he can blend in the snow with the snow. So maybe he can stay safe from predators, right? I am large and long. I am very strong. I look very cuddly with my furry feet, but I get hungry when I smell fresh meat. Now, Trayton, I want you to look at this picture. I'll show you here. What are some external features or structures, external structures of this polar bear?
His nose.
His nose. And you told me before that his nose is used for smelling. What about those furry feet? What do you suppose those furry feet are used for? Those external structures of his furry feet.
So the fur won't get cold.
Okay, the fur helps to keep his feet warm. What else? Look at those feet. What do you see on those feet?
Claws.
You see claws on those feet. What are those claws used for?
Killing animals.
Ooh, maybe when he's hunting for prey. Trayton, let's not play with these, okay? Yes, I'm a polar bear. I'm hairy. I'm scary. Beware. Grrr. Would you be scared of a polar bear?
No.
No? I know that polar bears can grow to be 10 feet tall. That's like 2 of me. Here is a walrus. I have whiskers and tusks. I am wrinkly and fat. I can sleep in the water, and that is that. What is an external structure of this walrus, Trayton?
His tusks.
His tusks. What do you suppose those tusks are used for?
Killing other animals.
Okay. Snowy owl. I am a snowy owl. I live in the ground. I fly over grasslands. I don't make a sound. Now that's interesting because I always thought that owls made the sound of hoo, hoo. But this owl doesn't make a sound. If he doesn't make a sound, what is that beak used for?
Eating.
Maybe it's used for eating. Picking up animals
And then killing them.
and eating them. That's how he survives, right? In winter, my fur is thick and white. It keeps me very warm. In summer, my fur turns gray and brown. I can hide and be safe from harm. Now, I want you to take a close look at this fox. It said that this fox is white in the winter, and in the summer, he turns gray and brown. Trayton, how is this fox adapting to his climate or to the weather? What is this fox doing to adapt? Look at the pictures.
To blend in for the snow.
So he's white right here, so he can blend in with the snow. But what is he doing to adapt to the summertime?
So he can blend in with the grass.
So he can blend in with the grass. His fur is changing color, so he can blend in with the grass, so he can stay safe from his predators. I am a seal. See my smooth skin? My flippers help me steer and swim. Here is his nostrils, another name for your nose. His whiskers, his flippers. Those flippers. It says, what does it say that he uses those flippers for? Those external structures of flippers. What are they used for?
What's it called? Swimming.
Swimming and steering. He has to steer in the water. Maybe he sees a fish over there. He has to steer to go the other way to catch that fish. Here's a seal. I make a hole in the ice to catch fish to eat. I jump in the water when I hear bare feet. I think I would probably jump somewhere to hide if I heard bare feet too. Penguin. We're black and white penguins. We're birds who cannot fly. A bird who can't fly? That's interesting. If he can't fly, why does he have feathers? Why does he have wings?
To fly.
He can't fly.
To swim and fly.
Oh, to swim. You're right. They probably swim.
And then they pretend to fly in.
Here's a penguin's feet, his flipper, his tail, and his beak. Whee! We can leap and dive, and we can swim and slide. What are all these called, Trayton? What are all these parts of the penguin's body called?
Tail, beak, flipper, feet.
And they're all
External
external structures. You are smart. Let's see, what do you know? Here's some comprehension questions for you. What do polar bears eat?
Fish.
They eat fish and fresh meat, right? Thank you for raising your hand so nicely, too. Which polar animal has whiskers and tusks?
A walrus.
A walrus. Where do snowy owls live?
Underground.
Wow, you are so smart. Can a penguin fly?
No.
Then what does it use its wings for?
Swimming.
You are right. What does a seal use his flippers for?
Swimming.
Yep. And what color is an Arctic fox in the summertime?
Gray and white.
Gray and white, yes, and brown too. You are right. Okay, so, all right, so what we're going to do, Trayton, now is we're going to do a little experiment. Now, we talked about it. We didn't really talk about it much in this book, but in our Amazing Arctic Animal book that we read yesterday, it talked about, let me find it in here. It talked about these whales, and they have that thick layer of fat on their body, right? Some animals have fur, and some have feathers to keep them warm. But this, Trayton, focus up here. This whale doesn't have feathers or fur. So this whale has that thick layer of fat that he uses to keep his body warm. Do you remember what that thick layer of fat is called?
No.
You don't remember? It starts with a B. I'm gonna write it out here. I'm gonna see if you can remember. It starts with a B. L. Can you remember what it's called? U. So we have B, L, A. Can't remember? Here's another clue. Blub.
Bubbler?
Blubber, right? That thick layer of fat is called blubber on some of our Arctic animals. What we are going to do, I've had this prepared while we have been reading our book. So, what we're going to do, I have it right here,
Yeah, boy.
is I have a cup of ice cold water. What do you suppose this water is representing? This cup of ice cold water. Here, sit down. What do you suppose this cup of ice cold water is representing? Trayton, what do you think?
The butter right here.
This. What is this representing? What are we pretending this is right here? That ice water.
The ocean.
The ocean, right? The Arctic Ocean. We're pretending that is the water that these Arctic animals live in. Why do we have all this ice in here?
So, because the ocean is cold.
Because the ocean is really cold. Now, remember I told you that thick layer of fat was called blubber, right? So this butter right here is all fat. Hold on one second. Is all fat, right? That's our butter. What we're going to do is we're going to stick our finger into this water with just our bare finger because we don't have feathers, we don't have fur, we don't have a thick layer of fat on our finger. We're going to stick it in the water. You can go ahead and stick it in the water. What does that feel like?
Cold ice water.
Cold ice water, cold ocean water, right? Do you suppose that you could, if this was a big ocean, do you suppose that you would be able to jump in there and survive in that ocean water? No, you would probably freeze. It would be so cold, wouldn't it? But if you were to take this, say it's our blubber, If you were to take that blubber and stick your finger in it, try and stick your finger in it like that, right? Is it on? Okay, don't squish it. Don't break it. Here, hold on a second. I'm going to try and squish it around your finger. Don't break it. Now what I want you to do is stick your finger in the water now, but don't let your skin touch the water. Stick your finger in the water. Can you feel how cold it is? Does it feel warm to you?
Yes.
So how are you adapting to that cold ocean water? What are you? You're putting butter on your finger to represent the blubber like some of our Arctic animals have, right? Do you think if you had this butter all over your body, smeared all over your body, do you think that you would then be able to jump into that ocean water
Yeah.
and you would be able to survive? Yeah, I think you're probably right. If you were an animal. But you're a boy living in Wisconsin. Okay. Do you have any questions, Trayton?
No.
No questions at all? All right. So did we learn what some external structures are that help our animals survive?
No.
You didn't learn any? What was this?
Butter.
Butter or blubber for an animal.
Blubber.
And that is a structure that an animal has to survive, to help them to survive in the cold. Right? I wouldn't eat that. I don't think it'll taste good. Okay. Thanks for being a great helper and helping me get through this, Trayton.